You can say anything that you want in film, good or bad, as long as you remember to make a good film. And I think that's what's happened with wokeness in film. They're making it so the craft of filmmaking, the craft of making an offering that people will even want to watch, is second fiddle to an idea that they have. And when you couple that with condemning, certain groups for not wanting to consume what you're making, you've got all the makings for something that's really negative. I can't make art and then ask a person, well, why don't you like it? If you're making an art form like film, it's made to be consumed by others. And it's very different than other forms of art. I guess if you were a director, you could make a film and leave it in your computer in the editing room and just sit there and enjoy it and admire your handiwork. But for the most part, filmmakers make films for others to see. And the people that see your films, they become customers. And customers, I don't know if people remember the term, the customer's always right. I think we've gotten away from that. So when you hear very quickly people called racist for not liking a film with a strong black lead in it, with a female lead, with a maybe even another type of person, then automatically those people are reduced to a very basic insult, which is, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're a homophobe, you're this, that, and the other. And it's as simple sometimes as just looking at whether a film is good. I've seen films where there are characters that are not traditionally straight white men or traditional straight white women. And I've thoroughly enjoyed those films. And it's because those films didn't forget that those characters were human beings. There's very few people that even remember in a Coen Brothers movie, Miller's Crossing, they don't remember that one of the most terrifying characters as far as being a villain ever made, Eddie the Dane, I think that was his name, was a gangster and the henchman of one of the antagonists in the movie. Eddie Dane was gay, but Eddie Dane would beat your butt. Eddie Dane would, and he spent most of the movie beating up Gabriel Byrne, who was a straight masculine man. And Eddie Dane in the movie was in a relationship with Steve Buscemi's character. But the fact is they were played like human beings. They were not played like public service announcements or poster children for homosexuality. They were just allowed to be human. Same thing in other films such as Our Lady of the Assassins. That entire movie was about a gay relationship with the backdrop of extreme violence. The cinematography of it was unique because it was completely shot digital, so you felt like you were right there in the middle of this violent, what's essentially a violent romance. And the content of it made up for things that might make people uncomfortable. And when you give a diverse vision of what a person is, as opposed to making them a two-dimensional archetype, then you generally get a response from people that, and it's one of those responses that is universal. It goes across the boards. That's why certain films with certain stars, like Creed it's a black character. Rocky's not a part of Creed, but the universe was made so that the character of Apollo Creed's son was made to be compelling. And I don't think that people are making compelling film anymore. I think to a certain degree, ego and certain ideologies becoming the religion of those people has made it so that the population, the public, is not getting what they want. I'm not excited about films. I have to go completely the indie route. I love watching film trailers, but I can nearly tell you when watching a movie, how a movie's going to play out from a gender and racial perspective, and who's going to be demonized as a villain. And I can tell you that it's going to be done in a cookie cutter type way. And I'm simply a consumer. You know, I love film. I'm involved in some film things, but I'm saying this as a consumer. This is how bland it's become, because there's no consideration to the